How's it going, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer coming at you with another video. I actually have a host of things to talk about, but in typical CG fashion, I don't have anything written down in front of me, so I'm probably going to forget a few of the things that I wanted to talk about. So let's go quickly on this. First things first, I got my oil filler cap issue resolved. I found a dealership in Ottawa that had one in stock, and that solved my problem with my vehicle, and the engine light worked itself away. It's no longer on, so all is good. I've been looking at a Volkswagen Touareg recently as well. I'm not a huge SUV guy, but the price is right, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm trying to get at least 200,000 out of my Golf, creeping up on 200,000 kilometers. In Canada we go by kilometers. I know in the US you guys go by miles. Well, the other thing I wanted to mention too, you guys, I don't know if you're aware, but when I shoot my videos on my camcorder that I'm using my JVC. I'm actually shooting at 24 frames per second, not 30, not 60. I'm shooting at 24. So that, for any of you guys that are curious, you're seeing kind of like a TV show aesthetic as far as the slow frame rate. That's how you do it. You shoot it at 24 frames a second. You know the TV show Friends, as an example? That's something that comes to mind. I never watched the show, but like when you watch the show, or Seinfeld, you can tell that they're shooting at 24 FPS. I'm just throwing that out there if you're ever looking to have that kind of aesthetic like this, even on an iPhone, even on modern digital SLRs. You don't have to have it at 60 FPS. You can put it down to 24 and it looks pretty cool. The next thing I want to talk about here is IGN finally put out their review for Flashback 2. This is just such a bizarre, strange release, you know. I'm a huge fan of the original Flashback. I had it back in the day on the Super NES. I had it on the PC. I have it in its current state. I have it on the Sega Genesis. And I also have it on the PS4 as well. It's a combo pack with Out of This World, which was graciously donated to me by my good buddy Dads and Lads Gaming. So Flashback 2, wow, what a disappointment. So this game got delayed, and then there was sort of a bit of confusion about the release date, and then finally it was released on the 16th of November. Hardly any reviews on YouTube regarding this game. You go on GameStop.ca, and they're taking pre-orders for the limited edition and the deluxe edition, and it says the shipping date is December the 1st, I believe. So I don't understand what is going on here. I don't understand. All that being said, I knew right from when I saw the gameplay footage when it was released, a year ago, that this just looked awful, terrible. And I just don't understand how this happened, because you've got the original creator of Flashback, Paul Couzet. Allegedly he was involved with this project. But man, you look at it and it's just like, I don't understand how at some point early on in the development of this game, how did somebody not jump out and say, hey, you guys are just going the wrong direction with this? Like, again, who am I? I'm just a small YouTuber, but like, they had one fucking job, okay? 2D side scrollers, not that Flashback's really a side scroller per se, but 2D, that 2D aesthetic, that retro aesthetic is red hot right now. All you had to fucking do was take the rotoscoped 2D assets from the original game, okay? And maybe just create new levels with a new story, throw like 7 or 8 or 9 stages in there like the original game, with a 16-bit soundtrack, and you could have called it a day right there, and we would have lost our fucking minds. We would have lost our minds. But what does Microids do? They double down on the douchebagness of the Flashback Flashback remake that came out several years ago on the 360 and the PS3. They doubled down on that bullshit. And you're left with a game that's like an overhead isometric viewpoint that kind of looks like Smash TV. And you've got, like, it looks like an early PS2 game. And you've got characters that look like they were generated using AI. And like the voice acting for Conrad sounds like someone who's 16 years old. Like, I can't wrap my head around this. Why did the developers go this route? So you watch the IGN review, and the game, apparently it's so broken, and that's why it took several days for the review to come out after the launch of the game. The game is so buggy and broken that it got a 2 out of 10, probably the worst review I've seen on IGN ever. And Microids is asking full retail for this, or not full retail, but they're asking, sorry, $59.99 Canadian, so not full retail. But my God, what a slap in the fucking face, you know? As far as Flashback is concerned, okay, Flashback 2 is kind of like Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull, okay? Let's just pretend that this doesn't exist, okay? Like the new Star Wars films, the Disney Star Wars films. Let's just pretend this is an alternate universe and it doesn't exist. Just the first 3 Star Wars films. So, those of you who are young enough, or old enough, excuse me, to remember, Flashback actually got a proper sequel, okay, that was released by Delphin Software back in '95, called Fade to Black, and I do have it for the PS1. That will always be the true sequel to Flashback. It is actually a really good game. And, you know, if you're interested in the Flashback series, play the first game and then play Fade to Black. Don't fuck around with the reboot that came out in 2010, I believe. And don't fuck around with Flashback 2. The only thing that looks good about Flashback 2 is the really cool steelbook that you can get. But hardly worth the price of admission. So that's all I'm going to say about it. That's my biggest disappointment of 2023. The next thing I want to talk about very quickly, I wanted to do it kind of like a, I don't know how to say it, kind of like a YouTube analytics report to tell you guys how much I've made through the monetization program from July 2022 up until now. I calculated it because I just got a payment today, and PK in the universe is going to be extremely jealous when he hears this, but I've actually made $525.14 on YouTube, and that's after the exchange, because you get paid out in US dollars and then it gets converted to Canadian, and the dollar is really weak, so I'm kind of getting fucked a little bit. But still, that pretty much pays for what I paid for my Xbox Series X, as an example. That pays for. So for those of you who watch YouTube and see those content creators that say they don't get paid anything, well, they get paid something, because I don't get paid a lot. But I mean, to me, $500 is a lot of money. To me. So, you know, if you're a content creator out there and you're getting, you know, 100, 200, $300,000 views per video, you know, I gotta imagine you're getting paid a couple $1,000s a year. Especially like an MJR, where you're sitting on a bunch of evergreen content that's constantly getting thousands of views a day. You wonder why he only puts out one video a week now. He just has to sit back. Metal Jesus Rocks is kind of like a classic rock band, right? No matter what an old band puts out in modern days, it's not really going to sell, right? Nobody buys CDs. But all of their old music will continue to sell like hotcakes, okay? It's the same with Metal Jesus Rocks. So yeah, I wanted to share that sort of analytics report with you, if I can call it that, to give you guys an honest number as to how much I've made on YouTube through the partnership program, because it's taboo for some reason. No content creators want to disclose anything as far as monetary amounts are concerned. So okay. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about here, it's a touchy subject, I guess, for some. But health updates is the new basement leak update for 2023. We saw it with RGT85 a couple of months ago. And at least with him, because he obviously doesn't work for a living and he doesn't have proper health care, he sold his video game collection, I presume, to pay for his medical expenses. So good for him for at least coming to the realization that when push comes to shove and you're faced with a moral dilemma like that, yeah, you're fucking right, you're going to sell your video game collection. You're fucking right. So we fast forward to John Hancock. Now, I'm not going to get into specifics. You can look into it for yourself. First and foremost, I feel terrible for him and his wife. I feel terrible for anybody who has to go through that sort of thing. I've gone through that before with a family member, and it's truly, truly, truly awful. So for what I'm about to say, it has nothing to do with that specifically, obviously. Okay, I don't wish that upon anybody. I don't wish that upon John Hancock. I don't wish that upon anybody in this world. That is truly horrible. I can't stress that enough. That is truly horrible what that man has gone through. That being said, to drop a health update video with a look of concern like this on your thumbnail, okay, with your wife in the thumbnail, okay, a few days prior to American Thanksgiving, okay, and then to sit there on camera and monetize that type of video and pin your Patreon and your merchandise and all your affiliate links in the description below, that is absolutely fucking disgusting. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Are you that desperate for views? And on a personal note, you know, if I'm going through something like that, I'm not going to go on YouTube and talk about my personal life. I'm going to deal with that behind the scenes, okay? I don't need sympathy. I can deal with stuff behind the scenes. You don't think I deal with stuff on a daily basis? Maybe not to that magnitude, obviously. But my God, these people, there's just no fucking shame. It's unbelievable. And then just to add to that, his wife is talking about how the community was grateful enough to assist with meal delivery while she was going through what she was going through, and she was very grateful for that. And she says, I don't know how we would have been able to afford it otherwise. Okay? Sell the collection, John. Okay? Sell the collection. If you're experiencing financial hardship to that magnitude that you can't afford fast meals to your door, sell your collection, okay? Don't be a fucking dick. Oh my God. You're sitting on a multi-million-dollar retro video game collection that was built on the backbone of the retro video game community, okay? Your donations, your humble donations. And you have publicly stated you're a school teacher, so you're not doing too bad at all, okay? You probably got 100 paid sick days a year, okay? You probably have a pretty good benefits package, I can imagine. And then you've got YouTube as your second job, quote unquote. Okay? What's the fucking deal here? Oh my God. Quit asking for handouts, okay? Put your ego aside, John. Sell your collection, okay? If you're dealing with a hardship, sell your collection, John. Holy fuck. If I had something happen that was catastrophic in my life, and I needed $100,000, okay? This video game collection around me, okay? This would be gone, okay? Not tomorrow. It would have been gone yesterday. Gone. The house would have been sold. The cars would have been sold. Everything would have been sold, okay? I wouldn't have been holding on to my game collection with an iron grip, okay? No, I would have sold it, okay? Use your fucking head, John. Use your fucking head. Okay? And again, I feel terrible for what him and his family are continuing to go through. But to drop a video like that a couple of days before Thanksgiving, Okay, and go look at his views. He got like over 50,000 views on that video. Whereas all his other videos recently, he's gotten like 7, 8, 9,000 views. Like, you're fucking disgusting, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh my God. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. Health updates is the new basement leak update. So these people need fucking help, seriously. Oh my God. These people will do anything. They will do anything for AdSense revenue. It's fucking disgusting, man. It's fucking weird. Anyways, I'm going to cut it off there. I'm going to leave it at that. Anyways, not much else to say. I know I am probably forgetting something that I wanted to talk about. Oh, yes. Yes, I was forgetting something. So, the Analog Pocket. Snoopy's Magic Show. I was able to play it yesterday for about 2 hours. I have to say, I love this game. I love it so much. It's like the best puzzle game I have ever played. There's 120 levels. I'm on level 25 right now. I fucking love this game. It's amazing. If you haven't played Snoopy's Magic Show, or is it called Snoopy's Magician? It's awesome. It's so good. So I'm going to continue to play that today. And hopefully I can see my way through on that game. So good. So good. So anyways, I'm going to cut it off there right at the 17-minute mark, just about. I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.